Hi everybody, Tracee Randall here. The name of my company is Generational Health, and my husband and I, Bobby, are also starting a new project that we're really excited about called the Millionaire Academy. And through that process, we're going to teach online and in person families on how to take control of their faith, their health, and their wealth. I see a few people have joined me. I'm so excited to have you here this morning or today at noon. I just got back from California on an incredible business trip and learned some incredible things about a company that I'm working with that is powerful and exciting. So I'll have to be honest with you, I have a little bit of jet lag this morning, but as more people are joining us, I'm just really excited. I encourage you to tag or share this posting right now. Go ahead and tag a mom. You know, one of the area of the population that I'm really trying to connect with are young women, especially. The reason is because our young women ages 18 to 35 years old, they're the ones that have control, true control over the health of the next generation. It's really important that we stop this madness, that we get mad about cancer, and that we make a decision that we're going to do it in our own homes first. And it's the young women, ages 18 to 35, who are thinking about getting married or having children anytime in the future, or those moms that already have young children. This is the time that we can stop the madness. This is the time that we can make these changes. This is the time that women are more likely to do something different because they understand that the health of their children, the health of the next generation is determined by what we do today. You see, what it is that it's not just one thing that causes cancer and disease. It's not. It is it's a lifestyle of things that cause this cancer epidemic, this health epidemic that we're having in the world today. It's the choices that you and I are making today that will impact the health of tomorrow. And tomorrow might mean next week. It might mean next month. It might mean next year. But at the end of the day, and I talk a lot about the law of seed and the law of harvest. Whatever we're putting into our bodies, on and in our bodies today, is going to dramatically affect the health of our lives tomorrow. And, you know, just for those of you who are joining me, thank you so much. I'm excited to have such a great group of people joining me. I really appreciate it. The purpose of these live videos at noon on Mondays is to just to share some information that could absolutely impact the health of your family. And that's what it's about, to pique interest and then just send you to some resources, some places where you can absolutely learn just some simple steps that we can take. And the reason that I wanted to share my own personal health testimony today and the testimony of my brothers is because I wanted to show you the power of simple lifestyle choices that you can make that will kick cancer's butt. You know, I am so sick and tired of watching people pray. You know, watching people on Facebook, especially. That's my social media platform. Please pray for this person. Pray for that person. They have cancer. I am sick and tired of this epidemic taking control of our families. And what I know is that if we would make some changes today, if we would be willing to say, no longer, not on my watch, I'm going to do something different today, moms, if you would change some simple things today, then everything will change for this next generation. A little quick background on me is that I am part of the American Anti-Cancer Institute, which is a nonprofit that educates on the natural treatment and prevention of disease. And what we know is that cancer should be a rare and curable disease of the immune system. I'm going to repeat that. Listen to me. Cancer should be a rare and curable disease of the immune system. And yet, why is it that so many people are being diagnosed with cancer today? It is the choices that we're making on a daily basis that impact the health of our families. Now, is cancer rare? I would say no, it's not rare. Every single one of us that have joined this video knows someone right now that's dealing with cancer. Every single one of us have lost someone to this disease. And maybe we didn't lose someone. Maybe they did live through the cancer. Maybe they beat cancer through chemo, radiation, or whatever. But that process, that journey of beating cancer is costly. It's costly emotionally, it's costly physically. It tears families apart. And, you know, to me, having a diagnosis of cancer and beating it is not the answer. What we must do is we must prevent this disease from going on in our family. Now, I did some live videos. If you'll scroll down on my timeline, you'll see I did a video about dairy and milk. One of the lifestyle choices that I would make if I were a parent, a mom, for myself as well as for my children. I want you to go back and watch that. I did a great live video about vaccinations. Should we vaccinate our children? And if so, why and how? There's little things that you can do to change the health of your children, of your babies. And moms, the closer that you get to a healthier lifestyle and making these changes, the better chance that your children have to lead healthy lives. Now, before I completely get started, and I'm so proud and excited to see that there are so many people here on this that are watching me live right now that do have young children. And you're our hope for the next generation. And, you know, God has given us wisdom. He has given us power, and knowledge is power. We die from lack of knowledge. And, you know, having the right knowledge in place prior to a diagnosis is so important. I am going to share how I beat cancer and how my body actually beat cancer and how I helped my brother actually beat lymphatic cancer using nutrition and natural means. But before I get started, I have to protect myself. I have to protect the companies that I'm going to talk about, because that's how we have to do it here in the world that we live in today. So I'm just going to do my disclaimer. I am not a doctor, and I don't claim to be a doctor. Everything that I'm going to share with you, I don't claim to cure or heal anything. What I know is that given the right nutrition, though, our bodies are miraculous. They're designed to heal, and given enough nutrition and the right amount of it, our bodies will fight and beat any disease. If you're under a physician's care, I'm going to tell you that, you know, I'm not messing with anything that your doctor has to say. You want to come off any medications only with your doctor's approval and help, and you always want to consult your physician if you're under the care of a physician. So everything that I'm going to share with you is designed to really just impact your health. And what I want to share with you also is that I have a lot of free resources on my website. I'm adding more and more now as I'm doing these live videos, but if you go to TraceeRandall.com, www.TraceeRandall.com, you'll see Tracee's Arsenal, and then Tracee's Arsenal recorded calls. And I have, I believe, 32 calls that are 30 minutes each with the subject and the information there. I encourage you to go to my website and listen to one of those calls. I listened to one this morning that I did last year. So powerful, so informative. And so I encourage you to go there for free resources. I also have on my website under Shop a video, a video that workshop that I did called Get Mad About Cancer. That video is just 1 hour. It's very powerful. It's packed full of details and information. And on my website, it sells for $15. It's a link that you can download on your computer. And if you actually use the coupon code LIVE or LIVE, L-I-V-E, then that 1 hour workshop is just $10. And it's so powerful, you guys. The $10 just helps pay me to hire someone to send that link to you and make sure that my website's taken care of. So it's powerful. So go to my website and go ahead and purchase that downloadable link, Get Mad About Cancer. I also have Bob Wright's book, Killing Cancer, Not People, on my website. It's available there for $25. And this is such an incredible resource for all kinds of things about the prevention of disease, not just cancer, but all disease. So I encourage you to go to my website. So what I want to share with you today first, I think, is I'm going to share what happened for me, because this is such a powerful testimony of everything that I share on my videos. So just a little bit of quick background. I was born in the 70s. I was born in Monroe, Louisiana, but I moved to Dallas, Texas. And during the 70s, guys, we laid out in the sun with absolutely no sun protection on our bodies. We didn't understand about UV rays back in the 70s. So I would go, and I lived in an apartment community, so I would be out there every single day tanning and burning and tanning. And I burned more than I tanned. And so that was in the 70s, and I did sunbeds all after that. And, you know, I just really never understood the power of UV protection until later, when we became aware of the harmful UV rays of the sun. So I had burned quite a bit. But in 2007, I actually found an incredible nutritional protocol that I started using because of my older son, Robbie, and a disease that he had. And this natural product, this nutrition that I used, really boosted and built my immune system. And so from April of 2007 until today, I have an incredibly strong immune system. Now, how do I know that my immune system is strong? Well, prior to April of 2007, I did get sick occasionally. I got strep throat once a year and would deal with that. Every single winter, I got strep throat at least once, and I had since I was a little girl. You know, a lot of times what happens is we kind of take for granted about our health, and we think, well, strep throat is a childhood disease and people get it. But at the end of the day, if your immune system is strong enough, you shouldn't get strep throat. You shouldn't get a cold. I'm just saying. So how do you know your immune system is strong enough to fight and beat off any disease, including cancer? Well, I'm going to share that with you. Also, prior to April of 2007, I actually had severe carpal tunnel pain in both my hands and arms. I couldn't hold a pen. I had occasional headaches. I was dealing with depression and panic and anxiety attacks. But overall, I would have said I was very healthy. So in 2007, I found this incredible nutritional product. I started taking it, and it's actually one of the products that Bob Wright talks about in his book, Killing Cancer, Not People. It's his #1 nutritional recommendation. And as I began to take this product, I began to notice I had more energy. I felt better. I slept more deeply. I actually I got results with hormonal balance. And from April of 2007 through today, I will testify to you that I have never had a cold. I've never had a headache. I've never had strep throat again. My immune system has been tough and strong. I'm 57 years old. I'm very proud to say that I feel better than I've ever felt in my entire life. So I'm very, very healthy. And what I know is that if your immune system is strong enough to fight a common cold, headaches, you know, if you're dealing with allergies or asthma or any, you know, if you get sick, even occasionally, then you're not taking enough of the right nutrition, and neither are your children. So whenever I do feel like maybe I you know, have something coming on, I wake up with a little scratchy throat, or I don't feel as good as I, you know, should, which is awesome because I feel awesome all the time and full of energy, then I increase the amount of nutrition that I'm taking. And if you want to know what that nutritional product is, I do have a recorded call that I'll share with you. Let me see if I can find it. I had it right here. Okay. Hold on just a minute. I'm going to find this because this is hugely important. Because I have this recorded calls on Tracee's Arsenal that you really need to take a look at. Anyway, I'll have to come back to that. So in 2015, I went to a dermatologist. Really, it was I wanted to go because I had a little bump right here on my lip that I didn't think there was any issue with it. I wasn't concerned about it being anything, but it actually showed on photos, and I was having a lot of photos taken for my website and different things. And so I went to a dermatologist and I said, hey, can you remove this little bump on my lip? And I was 55 years old, again, healthy, no medication, felt great. And the dermatologist said, well, while you're here, have you ever done a full body scan? And I said, no, I haven't. I don't see any reason why I should. And she said, well, have you ever sunburned? And I said, well, of course I have. I grew up in the 70s. We all sunburned. And most people have, accidentally sunburned in some way. They've had sun exposure in some way. We've all kind of lapsed. If you're over 30, I feel like, you've been burned before, like me. So she said, let me do a full body scan. And so she did that, and she found several moles on my back that had always been there. I've always had them there, but she thought that they looked unusual, or she had some concern about them. Well, that didn't surprise me because, that's what they're there for, and so the doctors are there for. So she said, I'm going to do a biopsy of one of the moles on your lower back and just send it in and see what happens. So she did, and I was actually on my way to a trip, and she called me the day before I was about to leave for 2 weeks, and she said, hey, this mole did come back with some issues, and I'm going to send you to an oncologist so he can explain what he found. So I said, look, it's going to have to wait for 2 weeks because I'm on my way out of town. Well, one of the things I want to share with you is that, the doctors are very aggressive about wanting you to immediately do something. And actually listened to one of my calls today, and what I want you to know is that cancer doesn't appear overnight, and normally it's not something that is life-threatening immediately. So she was very insistent that I go to this oncologist, and I said, okay, I'll go when I come back. So 2 weeks later, I had set the appointment. I'm sitting in front of the oncologist, and he looked at me and he said, Tracee, I have some really, I have some bad news for you. And I want to tell you that even though I was already knew what my protocol would be if I ever got the diagnosis of cancer, my heart started to beat out of my chest. I did feel fear rise up, and that's very normal. And one of the things that I share with people is always be prepared of what you would do if you or someone you love got a diagnosis, because that's hugely important. But I, took a deep breath and I said, all right, well, tell me what you found. And he said, in that area around that mole, I have found very aggressive cancerous cells. It's melanoma. And you have actually melanoma cells on your, there on your body, on your skin. And I said, wow. And he just paused and looked at me, and I said, wow, so what does that mean? And he said, well, that's the bad news. But the good news is that I found something else on your scan that was very unusual. And he said, Tracee, your body has actually formed a scar tissue that's about 1 inch deep below that area where the melanoma cells are on the surface of your skin. And he drew a diagram, and he said, you've got your outer layer of skin, and then you've got an inner layer, and between the outer and inner layer there is lymph nodes and your circulatory system. And what happens is that the cancer starts growing here on your outer layer of skin, and then it begins to go into the inner layer, where it then gets into your lymphatic system and your circulatory system. And that's how people get lymphatic cancer, and it's very aggressive. And that's how he said it to me, and he said, but your body has formed a scar tissue right here about 1 inch deep into your system, and that scar tissue has stopped the cancer in its tracks. It has stopped the melanoma cells from growing and spreading into your lymphatic system. And he said, the only thing that can do that is your immune system. Your immune system is so strong that it knew what it needed to do to stop that cancer from growing. And I was like, wow, that's incredible. So what you're telling me is that because my immune system is so strong, I don't have lymphatic cancer. I don't have maybe, cancer in my body or in my blood because of my immune system. Is that what you're saying, doctor? And he looked at me and he said, that's exactly what I'm saying. Your immune system has stopped the cancer. And he said, this is very rare. I don't see this in my practice. And most people who have this issue would absolutely have cancer, that the melanoma would have spread. And I remember, tears forming in my eyes, and I thought, well, praise God for that. Praise God that I had the knowledge and the wisdom to do whatever it took to keep my immune system strong all this time. You see, because those cancerous cells had been forming on the outer, on my skin for quite a long time. And that's what I want to share with you about cancer. It doesn't normally, it doesn't pop up overnight. Most tumors are slow growing. Most cancerous cells are slow growing. And what happens is your body begins to fight it and create tumors and scar tissue and all different things to try to stop the cancer cells from growing, or to give your body an indication that something is wrong. And what we need to do is fight that. We need to boost the immune system first. So how did I kick cancer in the butt? My immune system was so strong. Well, how do you get your immune system that strong? It really is about everything that we're putting in and on our bodies. You see, the seeds that we're sowing today, moms, every product that you put on your child's skin, suntan lotions, powders. Johnson's baby powder is got cancer-causing ingredients in it. So you have to be more careful about the toxins and the chemicals that you're putting on your body, because whatever we put on our body actually goes into our circulatory system within 28 seconds. It's all over our body, whatever we put on our skin, whatever we eat, whatever we drink. I'm not a fanatic, but everything that I put on and in my body, I think about, is this going to boost my immune system, or is this going to weaken it? And that's what I encourage you to do as moms. Do your research. It's so important that your children have a strong immune system. Again, how can you tell if the immune system is strong enough? If your children are getting sick at all, if they have runny noses, if they get ear infections, if their throat hurts, if they're getting strep throat, their immune system is not strong enough to fight off disease. And it's not going to happen overnight. See, cancer is the #1 killer of our children today. And the average age of children getting cancer is 6 years old. Now, what I believe is, and I'm on my soapbox here, is that children are being born today with cancerous cells. And immediately from the time that they're born, we're either doing something to boost their immune system or weaken it. And I did a video last week on how to boost and build the immune system and the #1 nutrition sources that Bob Wright recommends. And sadly, it didn't take. I don't know what happened to that video. It didn't take. But I have resources that will help you. Now, there's a couple things I want you to do right now. I'm going to actually give away one of my workshops, Get Mad About Cancer workshop. As I said, it's a 1-hour workshop. It's powerful. It only costs $10 on my website if you use the coupon code LIVE, L-I-V-E. But I would love for you to be put in a drawing to win a free workshop that you can give to someone else. And so the way to do that is to comment here, get mad about cancer, get mad about cancer, get mad about cancer, comment here, get mad about cancer, and I'll put you in a drawing for that workshop that you can give to someone else. You can gift it to someone else, or you can watch it yourself. It's so important. And I would love for you to gift it to a mom who doesn't understand the power of feeding good nutrition, good food into their families' bodies. The more you comment here, the reason I'm doing this is because the more comments that I get here, thank you, Karen, the more comments that I get here, the more people will see this. I don't know how Facebook works, but comments matter, and I love the hearts and the likes. That fuels me and encourages me and helps people to see this as good stuff. So comment, get mad about cancer, and I'll put you in a free drawing to get and be able to give away my cancer workshop. I also want you to, another way that you can get into the drawing is to tag someone or share this video. If you tag or share this video, I'll put your name in the drawing for a free Get Mad About Cancer workshop that you can give away to someone else. So that's hugely important. Now, in 3 minutes, or 5 minutes actually, I won't lie, in 5 minutes, I'm going to share what happened with my brother, because this is such a powerful testimony and so important that we know the power of great nutrition. My brother lived a horrible lifestyle when it comes to food and how he took care of his body. I share on my Get Mad About My Arsenal call that he actually smoked cigarettes, he drank alcohol, he ate crappy food, he put nothing but horrible stuff in his body for 45, 50 years. And when my brother was 50 years old, he was diagnosed with colon cancer. Now, the diagnosis came after a year of misdiagnosis. By the time my brother was diagnosed with colon cancer, he had lost about 60 pounds that he didn't need to lose. He was horribly underweight. He weighed 140 pounds and he's over 6 feet tall, so he looked horrible. He was sick. He was in a lot of pain. And somehow they misdiagnosed his colon cancer, thought he had a stomach ulcer, all these things. When he was finally diagnosed, he had a grapefruit-sized tumor in his colon that did need to be removed immediately. Now, in Bob's book, Killing Cancer, Not People, he talks about whether you should have something surgically removed or not. In this case, there was no doubt that Buddy needed to have it surgically removed. So I drove down to Louisiana to help Buddy through this process because I'd helped so many people with cancer. And they removed the tumor and a part of his colon as well, and a part of his small or large intestine, I forget which, but they removed all the cancer. But the doctor, after the after surgery, the post surgery, they gathered the family in and they said, look, he's also got cancer, tumors in 90% of his lymphatic system. That the cancer has spread into his lymphatic system, and there's tumors in 90% of his body. Every lymph node has a tumor, and the only way to stop this is chemo and radiation, and it needs to stop. It needs to start right away. And so I said, well, my brother weighs 140 pounds. He's severely underweight. He's sick. He's had no nutrition for over a year because he hasn't been able to eat or drink anything. And I believe that chemo and radiation will kill him. And the doctor said, well, the only choice is chemo and radiation. Well, my brother was, by that point, very depressed, very, had given up his will to live, really. He just only wanted to get out of pain. And we had a family discussion, and I said, Buddy, I'll help you nutritionally to boost and build your immune system. And I believe that we can shrink those tumors with nutrition because I've helped other people do that. And I know what's in this book, Killing Cancer, Not People. And so Buddy said, absolutely, I'll do whatever you say. And so we put Buddy on a flooding of nutrition. We used a portion of the protocol in Bob's book, which was the Relive products that actually what I use, and that information is on my website as well. And we flooded my brother's body with nutrition. Now, the first thing that happened is that within less than 30 days, Buddy had gained about 10 pounds of healthy weight. He had more energy, felt better. He was actually gaining weight, eating just really fruits and vegetables because when you remove part of your colon and part of your not your colon, your intestines, it's tough. And so he could only eat fruits and vegetables after that, which are very alkaline and very healthy anyway, and what I recommend for people to eat more of. And we flooded his body with nutrition. And in 30 days, he had gained that 10 pounds, and he felt better. He had more energy. He felt amazing. And then within 60 days, he had gained more weight, all healthy, no fat. He had gained muscle weight, and he was, after a year of being completely in pain and inactive, he felt amazing. And then after 90 days, the doctor called him back in, of course, for a body, to test his blood and all of that, see where he was. And in 90 days, my brother was actually, there were no tumors in his body anymore. And his blood work was awesome, perfect. He had gained 20 pounds. He looked and felt amazing. And get this is what the doctor said. He said, now that you're feeling better and have more energy, let's go ahead and do that chemo and radiation so that we can make sure and this cancer doesn't come back. And my brother said, well, but you've already told me that I'm cancer free, and there's no tumors in my blood and in my body anymore, in my lymphatic system. Why would I want to do chemo? And the doctor said, well, that's the only thing that's going to keep it from coming back. And of course, doctors only know about chemo and radiations. That's what they are. That's what they're trained in. That's what they know. And quite frankly, that's how they get paid. There, I said it. That's how they get paid. They don't get paid when people heal through nutrition. And I'm not saying that every doctor is bad, but that's their livelihood. That's what they know. That's what they believe in. Well, there are other things. So I said, let's do it for 90 more days. So he talked the doctor into 90 more days of using the same protocol that he had been using. So for 90 more days, we continued to flood my brother's body with nutrition. He kept an alkaline diet going on, which meant no meat, no beer, no cigarettes, no coffee. For 90 more days, fruits and vegetables, green leafy vegetables, fruits, an alkaline diet. He flooded his body with nutrition. He kept his immune system strong. And at the end of 90 more days, now 6 months later, no sign of cancer in his body. His doctor then said, I want you to do chemo and radiation. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Really? When you tell me that I'm cancer-free, you want me to do chemo and radiation? That's what they know, folks. That's all they know. So my brother found a different doctor, and she was an Asian doctor, which I love because people, from other cultures actually know more about other types of medicine. And she wasn't an alternative doctor. She was a true oncologist, but she also understood the power of nutrition. And she looked at my brother's blood work and she said, Sir, you are in amazing health, and whatever you've been doing, you keep doing. So I want to share this, and that was in 2013 that my brother was diagnosed with this cancer, and it was in 2015 that I was diagnosed, and we're both, absolutely healthy and cancer-free today. The point of this is not to necessarily say, okay, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm only sharing what I would do if I got a cancer diagnosis. I would flood my body with the best nutrition. I would read this book, Killing Cancer, Not People. Bob Wright is his AACI, the American Anti-Cancer Institute, is a nonprofit that educates on the natural treatment and prevention of disease. He makes no money if you choose to use his protocol. He makes no money if you, he's not financially tied to what you do. And so because of that, he is impartial, and he can share what he's learned, his knowledge. Knowledge is power. Too many people are dying of cancer today. Too many of our children are being diagnosed. Moms, you can stop this in the next generation. The way to stop it is by boosting and building your child's immune system. And I am going to actually post the phone numbers to my Arsenal calls right here. So go back and watch the recording after I get a chance to post it, because I want you to listen to a couple of my calls that really share about the protocols that we use. Again, I'm not claiming to cure or treat cancer in any way. All I'm saying is that your body has the power to do it, but your body also has the power to prevent disease. And moms, everything that you're putting on or in your child's body is either taking them one step toward better health or one step toward disease. It may not happen today, but the seeds that you're sowing, cancer begins to grow as our immune system weakens and weakens and weakens, and then one day your child is diagnosed with disease, and it's truly because of what you've been putting in their body and on their body all of these years. So moms, it's up to us to get mad about cancer. We have to make a decision. So make sure you comment here, get mad about cancer, make a decision that cancer won't touch you or the ones that you love. Share this video, tag other people. I have lots of people that have joined, but very few people who've commented. Make sure you comment, get mad about cancer. I'll put your name in the drawing for my Get Mad About Cancer workshop. And that way we'll have more people watching this video because it will spread. Tag someone that's a mom, share this information. Oh, and by the way, where do you get the book, Killing Cancer Not People? Right there on my website, TraceeRandall.com. I have Bob's book here, and I will get it shipped out to you at the same price that he sells it for, no upcharge. Every time you buy one of Bob's books, it goes to his nonprofit. I get the American Anti-Cancer Institute, and what Bob does is he, for free, educates people on and helps people with cancer. He takes phone calls and helps people with cancer. So the only way that we can keep him in business is for people to buy his book. We also have a link on my website to a 6-hour workshop that Bob did when he was in Atlanta. It's called Get Mad About Cancer Health Summit, and it's on my website as well. It's a downloadable link, 6 full hours of Bob teaching and educating on new protocols that he's found that really help boost and build the immune system. The key to all of this, 36 minutes later, is parents. You have to boost your child's immune system. You can't continue to feed them sugar and foods full of chemicals and put chemicals on or in their bodies and expect to have your children healthy. You just can't. I'm sharing the truth in love. It is up to you, moms, to do something different. And I'm going to be here every single Monday at noon sharing different little pieces and nuggets of information that will help you. There's simple steps that you can do. Change your lifestyle. Next Monday, let me see what date that is. This coming Monday at noon, that is on the 31st, July 31st. Here's what I'm going to be sharing. Detox. How do you detox? Should you detox? And if you should detox, because I believe not everyone should detox. And I know that my detox people are going to be, what? Yep, not everyone should do a detox. And I'm going to share with you why and how you should detox, and if you are someone that should detox. How, when, and why to detox, and some ways that you should do that. Sharon, I want to thank you for the notes that you put on here. It really means a lot to me that you're helping support me, and all of you who have joined. I really appreciate it. I'll go back and comment and thank you later. I definitely want you to put Get Mad About Cancer. Put that in your comments because I need more people to see this video. It's too important. So this has been Tracee Randall. Let's get mad about cancer. Let's make a decision that cancer won't touch you or the ones that you love. Thanks for sharing and tagging and commenting. Bye, everybody.